The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
The Q101 Morning Crew. Sports.
Well, it was a wild day when you were out on St. Paddy's Day weekend doing something. Like Saturday was actually the biggest day for getting out, it felt like, except for the Southsiders, of course, with the Southside Parade. And then the Northside Parade, and I was out at Lizzie's again from our broadcast on Friday, went back again. And that's when I got home and realized, is this real or am I in a parody account? But Justin Fields traded. Now, it wasn't a shock, but I just felt like it was a shock on Saturday night.
I wasn't expecting it to go down when it did.
Yes. And I had to verify, and I go, wow, they did trade him. So Justin Fields, the Bears quarterback, traded to the Steelers for a 6th-round pick. Can elevate to a 4th-round pick, depending on how many snaps he gets. And Russell Wilson also traded to Pittsburgh, who will be the starter until he's not.
Yeah, no, as a known Russell Wilson hater, I've accurately predicted the downfall of his career. And while I have certainly no stake in the Steelers organization, I do suspect that Justin Fields will be their starting quarterback sooner rather than later.
Some may say you manifested Russell Wilson's downward spiral of his career.
Yes. Oh, God, I can't stand the guy.
Why do you hate him?
I find his career to be one good luck charm after another.
You know there's no such thing as luck, right?
What does Pitbull say?
Pitbull says, the harder I work, the luckier I get.
That's right. I knew you knew that quote. You're
That's
a big
right.
Mr. Worldwide fan.
Oh, absolutely. So, listen, I enjoyed Russell Wilson back in the day, the Super Bowl. Of course, the bad pass, but it wasn't his fault. They should have ran the ball and had 2 Super Bowls. He'd have been a Hall of Famer easily. He is a Hall of Famer still at this point, I believe.
I don't know. Man's never won an MVP. Even though Chris Collinsworth at the start of every year, Al, this guy's so good. And then it's just like, we have to do this thing again where Russell Wilson is good for 7 weeks, and then he's bad, and then we have to pretend he's good again.
Sidebar. That's the first impersonation you've ever done on the show, and it was Chris Collinsworth.
And there's a reason I don't do impersonations.
Yeah, that wasn't so good.
I know. If I could do impersonations, my life would be so much better.
You sounded like Andy Rooney from 60 Minutes. You know what I hate? When people...
Young people, that's who I hate. I hate everybody. I'm Andy Rooney.
Also, I'm embarrassed that I made an Andy Rooney reference on the show.
I followed it. I'm 25 and I know who Andy Rooney is. So.
Let's keep going here. So Justin Fields is gone. And now that, of course, obviously guarantees that Caleb Williams will be drafted number 1 overall for the Bears. But listen, Justin Fields, there's a big faction, just like Trubisky, that he didn't get a fair shake. He didn't get it all the way through. He had a mess of a team to deal with. And although you got to remember, he was sacked the most in 2022. That means he didn't get rid of the ball fast enough in a lot of situations. Some things are his fault is what I'm saying. It's okay. Both things can be true. That they didn't serve him properly, but he also was really bad at times. But also, on a better team, will he look better? I don't know if on the Steelers he's going to pop in there perfectly and he'll shine. They had a lot of problems last year. I don't know how it's going to work out. But I do like him as a person, and I wish him well. In the AFC.
I thought he treated Chicago very well.
Yeah, I do too.
Now, I felt like this most recent season, he had all of the tools in place to where if he was a better quarterback, the Bears would have been a very successful team.
Yes.
I lost faith in him coming out of this past season because I thought they improved the offensive line. They got DJ Moore. They had a strong running game.
The defense actually stepped up as well. Once Matt Eberflus took it over, the head coach actually took over the defense. So he had a better way to show. I said before the season, this was the show me year.
Yeah.
And
I don't think he did.
Everything was perfect. I wasn't perfect, but he didn't show enough, and it's fine. We move on. Bye. Have a good one. Have a good time in Pittsburgh.
It was just hard to do. It's Pittsburgh.
I don't know. Looks for a nice city to drive through. Also, March Madness for the first time ever. Northwestern will be in the NCAA men's basketball tournament for the 2nd consecutive season. That's an interesting stat. I thought they would have been in there two years in a row often.
No, they're not Duke. I don't consider Northwestern to be a basketball powerhouse.
I just think in the Big Ten, I think at some point they did it twice in a row.
Yeah.
So they will be playing Friday against Florida Atlantic in Brooklyn, and then whoever wins that has to face UConn. If they win.
Yeah, if they win.
Well, it's UConn. They won last year, so they're probably going to be pretty good. Also, the Illini, after beating Wisconsin, who upset Purdue. Wow, what a Big Ten tournament this weekend. So they're a number 3 seed in the East, and they will face number 14 seed Morehead State on Thursday in Omaha. As it all gets started, it's so fun, March Madness. It's so good.
I love this Illinois team. I'm rooting for these guys. I hope they go a long way. I was really impressed with what they did against Wisconsin yesterday.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. And what's going to be even more fun, just a couple weeks from today.
Hey, Chicago, what do you say? The Cubs are gonna win.
Join Brian and Kenzie as last Friday, St. Patrick's Day. We had a great, wonderful, fun broadcast. We're having another one coming up already, 6 to 10 a.m. Monday, April 1st, Almost Home Tavern and Grill for opening day with the Cubs. That's at 3801 North Clark Street in Chicago. Live broadcast, ticket giveaways like we did last Friday of just about every 15 minutes. And the first look at the Q101 swag, because that is some of the hottest selling stuff on aisle 101.
Opening day swag, to be specific. Yeah, we've got some themed giveaways for that. A-level concert tickets, just like we did for St. Patrick's Day. And if you don't know where Almost Home Tavern and Grill is, it's a block down from Wrigley Field. It is right there. It is in walking distance. It is a straight line to the ballpark.
Yeah, north of Wrigley Field.
North, yes. Yeah.
No, when you say down, I think south.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
Sorry.
Make sure you go north.
Jesus.
It's just north of the Metro.
Thank you, yes.
It's just north of the Metro and right by Wrigley. I want to make sure they don't go the wrong way. Yeah. Because somebody showed up at Lizzie McNeil's on Friday, and they live in the neighborhood, but they just moved here. And they go, we walked 15 minutes the other direction. I was like, 15 minutes sounds terrible.
That's a lot of walking.
Then you got to turn around and walk back 15.
Then you're looking at a half hour now.
Yeah.
Probably missed out on the concert tickets they wanted to win. But Almost Home Tavern and Grill, Monday, April 1st, right before the Cubs home opener. And make a whole day of it. Because you park there, come to our broadcast, walk down to Wrigley.
From Almost Home.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
And have a good time with us.
Sure. It's all at Q101.com, all the information.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101, and Kenzie live from maternity leave.
Yeah, buddy. Let's go. Monday.
Yeah. So last week it was whoop whoop, and now it's yeah, buddy.
I know. I don't know how to make it sound fun. Saying live from maternity leave.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to add some spice.
Yeah, it was very Pauly D.
I love Pauly D.
Oh yeah. I mean, have you been watching the new season when you're like pumping, let's say?
No, because the baby hates when I pump.
Jersey Shore?
No. Then he wouldn't even be my baby.
I just starts crying every time he sees Ronnie and Sammy get back together.
Oh, God.
Well, who doesn't?
Oh, God. Pray for her, Sammy, sweetheart. The sweetest bitch you'll ever meet.
Damn. Okay.
But he hates. Should I keep going?
Keep going. What were you going to say?
No, I think like the baby hates like when I pump. I think it's like a jealousy thing because I've picked him up before, and with his little mitten hands, he like smacks the pumps. Like, he hates them.
Wow.
He's like he gets really pissy about the whole thing.
Well,
I'm like, it's for you. I'm not doing it for fun.
yeah, you have to sit down and explain that to him.
I know. I'll talk to him later.
Yeah, you understand? We can't eat another way. And you know, Kenzie obviously endorses Dunkin' Donuts here with Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Interesting story that someone in New York was taking Dunkin' Donuts, which are delicious, and then reselling them as theirs, which sounds
As
like
their donuts?
not just their donuts. They were selling them as vegan, gluten-free treats, but they were Dunkin' Donuts.
Just to be clear, they just went to Dunkin', they bought like a box of donuts, and then brought them back to their own store to sell them, and claimed they were vegan and gluten-free?
Yes.
Thrifty.
Yeah. Well, it's a nice move, and you could probably sell a gluten-free treat for like $10 compared to the great price that Dunkin' Donuts
the upcharges are ridiculous on the gluten-free stuff. I know it firsthand.
Yeah.
And if it's a little stale, you could probably blame it like on the vegan, like gluten-free part.
God, you're so right.
You know what I
That's
mean?
such a great
You'd be
point.
like, well, it's because of the way the donut. Like, you know, you could probably blame it. Like, you use stale donuts.
Yeah, it's really like a scone. It's not really a donut.
Yeah, it's like a hybrid.
The funny thing is New York's Division of Food Safety and Inspection is conducting a, quote, full investigation into the accusations that a baker, Cindy Snacks is the store, baker resold the donuts from Dunkin' under the guise they were vegan and gluten-free. This is what they're spending their time with? I can't just say, hey, don't do that.
No. This could kill somebody. Imagine if you're celiac.
Okay, I forgot that Case's girl is gluten-free.
But not celiac, just gluten-free.
But you've seen what happens when this goes down.
Of course. I mean, this
So
is,
she's the fake gluten-free.
she's not the fake gluten-free.
Poser.
Very sensitive subject. She's not the fake gluten-free.
I just wanted, when I had the Super Bowl party, I thought maybe she just wanted something special for her.
That's a really good way to make sure no one else eats your food.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. But then you have worse food.
I mean, at Harper's birthday party, got the gluten-free pizza for her at D'Agostino's.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And it was greatly appreciated.
Yeah.
But it's not a fake thing that she's going through. But
Sounds fake.
But like we go to the Logan Square Farmers Market in the summer, and they're loaded up with vegan and gluten-free desserts just like this. So she goes to Dunkin' almost
Do you
every
like ride bikes there?
No, we walk.
Just a little stroll.
I don't do
Do you
bikes.
have a basket? Do you bring your own basket?
We do bring our own basket sometimes. I love a farmer's market. It's very cute. I like it.
It is cute.
Yes, thank you. I'm glad you're supporting me on
God,
this.
Kenzie's smitten with this situation.
I just imagine Kay's a little picnic basket helping her pick out gluten-free treats. It's so cute.
But didn't you picture him riding a tricycle there?
No, I absolutely imagine like an old school bike with a really high handle.
Those
You know
big
what I mean?
tricycles, yeah, the big
Yeah.
ones.
I've got like a Tony Gwynn car in the spokes just to make it sound like a motorcycle.
Well, I thought you would have like a little bell in the front.
Oh my
Excuse
God.
me?
I don't have that, but I will note, one, again, if you're celiac and you eat something with gluten and you're unaware of it, it could kill you. But also, like, my girl goes to Dunkin' every day. She loves the iced coffee. She's a Dunkin' freak. But she can't eat the donuts there. They don't serve gluten-free donuts. It's
Yeah.
just not on their menu.
Well, they don't need to. They're killing it. They're doing fine.
It would be nice if they did.
Well, maybe this one.
According to Cindy, they do.
Yeah, Cindy snacks. So, yeah, I didn't even think of that. Like, I thought it was just more of a cheap scam, like Kenzie said, like, way to cheap out. But I didn't even think of the fact that she could have killed somebody.
Well, to be clear, it's hilarious. It's just wrong.
Yeah.
So who's investigating this?
Well, it happened
The
in New
FBI.
York. So it's
The
the
FBI is. I kind of blacked out. Who's investigating this?
New York Division of Food Safety and Inspection. So
Isn't
I
it
guess
kind of like case closed? I feel like we just read everything. What is to be investigated still?
yeah, I guess they're still trying to figure out if because of the accusations, how she did it, if she really did it. I guess they went in there. Here's what happened on the
Pull up her Dunkin' app.
On February 23rd, it said owner of the Savory Fig dropped off the baked goods that were ordered from her, including her donuts, to a company that ordered them and expected vegan, gluten-free treats. And then they became concerned when they noticed sprinkles bear and an uncanny resemblance to Dunkin's on the donut. Because that's kind of what the donut had. They had these little D's on there. You know what I mean?
They had little D's all over the donut.
Little D's on the donut.
D's donuts.
So they raised concerns and they investigated, and there's a big investigation going on with that situation now. So,
I admire like hustle. You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to find like a positive for Cindy.
you really are.
And like America runs on Dunkin', and she took that to heart. You know.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian Kenzie on Q101. And listen, we announced the Cubs broadcast we'll have for the home opener 2 weeks from today at Almost Home. Can't wait to do it at that bar. Cannot wait to do it. It's my neighborhood place. It's my neighborhood spot.
I
Go
walk
there.
by it all the time leaving the metro.
Yeah. When you leave the Metro for a show, if you can't get in, like all those places get packed after a show like that, and that place is always there waiting for you. Almost Home. All the information at Q101.com, and I cannot wait to do it. We haven't done a Cubs home opener broadcast in a long time. We've done the Lizzies for St. Patty's Day 3 years in a row. Get everybody out there for that. Major concert tickets, free stuff, including merch, the first Cubs Q101 shirts, opening day shirts. So, yeah, be on hand. Takeaways from today's show, 312-591-8300. Check in with your takeaways. Case, what do you got?
Scott in Tinley Park checked in. He said, you can't pull over in the sky.
That's all he said?
That's true.
Wow.
It's true. You never really think about it, but planes cannot pull over.
And a couple other takeaways that relate to something that maybe you had to hear the conversation, which will be in the podcast in a second. 219 checked in takeaway. 2 rules to owning a pet. Never have monster in its name, and never have one that can kick your ass.
Facts.
Absolutely.
That's honestly, Brian, some of your best advice ever.
Well, listen, if people just listen to me, everything's going to work out great. And if you don't, you may have some problems along the way. That's all I'm saying. I'm usually right. It just takes a while to figure it out, kind of like my dad. What do you got on the podcast case?
Well, we talked about that, how you should never own a pet that can kick your ass. It worked out very poorly for a man in Colorado.
Yeah.
Look, Boeing is coming for us. You know, the unfortunately, and I don't say this in jest, but the Boeing whistleblower lost his life last week. Brian, Kara, and I might be next because we talked very poorly about Boeing about an hour and a half ago.
Well, they've kind of put it on themselves.
I agree.
I don't think we were like...
I agree, but we spoke out.
Unruly bashing.
We're heroes. We spoke out.
So if there's no show tomorrow,
It's Boeing did it.
the snipers got to us.
Exactly. And then,
Yes.
of course, earlier we talked about how you passionately defended your fruit choices. You're a big mango guy, which I didn't see coming.
Yeah.
And that's how we started this morning.
It's amazingly delicious.
Not a fan.
Go to the new Brian and Kenzie podcast anywhere anywhere you get your podcasts, Q101.com, of course, Spotify, of course, Apple. One more late takeaway from Jesse. Kenzie's baby got disowned for not liking Jersey Shore.
That's right. That is true. That is 100% accurate.
We'll hear from Kenzie again tomorrow on the show.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.